All right. Good morning, guys. Welcome to my Monday morning rant for the 8th of March, 2021. Man, it's been a huge week. Hey, it feels like it's been a massive week for me. It started with the Monday morning rant last week, where I was talking about saving up this little bit of money and wanting to spend it on the one guitar that I've always wanted, like a three, four, $5,000 beast of a guitar that would live with me for the rest of my life. Um, and I've been wanting to do that for so long, but at the same time, after going on a cruise with some friends, it inspired me to want to get the GTR going again. So that's what the rant was about last week, and it got a good response, and it got me off my ass and down into the garage, which I haven't been in that garage for over 5 years. It really has been a case of out of sight, out of mind. And I checked out the GTR, and it usually is in a bad state when I've left it for so long. But this time round, it's different. I live next to the beach, and man, it was damp down there, really damp. You could smell the dampness, the mold in the air, and the car was wet, and there's just surface rust all over it. Small little areas where the paint has started to bubble up, and the car's never been in this kind of condition. Like, you know, I've always managed to just crank it, get it to Indies, get it going again, service it, and take it out to either the track or to car meets. But this time around, man, it's in need of some proper TLC, and rust is something that comes with the age of these cars, right? Like, I know that when I first bought the car, people were having rust issues with them, especially in the UK and different places all over the world, And my car's always been super clean, but rust just comes with old cars, and living by the beach has just accelerated that um, really severely, actually. And I haven't felt anything like depression since getting out of depression, but holy fuck, when I saw the car in that state, I felt so fucked up. I literally had to go to sleep for the rest of that whole day. I just slept it off. Um, but I didn't dwell for too long. I got up in the middle of the night, and I made a Facebook post about it. I just decided to share what I found and how I was feeling. And that Facebook post that I made got so many responses. Thank you so much for all the love. And you know, I never agree with everyone, right? A shit ton of people, the general consensus is don't sell it, you'll regret it. You'll never be able to buy it back. It's going up in price. If you don't need the money, don't you dare sell it. Um, just hold on to it. Even as a rust bucket, it's worth more and more as time goes on. And I get that, but I'm not like that. Like um yeah, sure. I have regretted selling a few things in the past, but it's not such a huge regret that it prevents me from living a full life. You know what I mean? Like, um, I had so many people send me messages asking me how much I wanted to sell it for, and that it would be in great hands, and it would be in be there forever car and all that kind of stuff. And that's another thing as well. Like, I've never really cared who I sell my cars to. Like, my opinion is, my thoughts on it are like, when I've sold it. When it's gone, it's gone. It's not mine anymore. What someone does with it afterwards, they can paint it pink for all I care. Like, yeah, sure, it'll be a little bit annoying, but it's their car after all. They do with it what they will and what they like. It's not mine anymore. So part of me is thinking like, well, I'm not really the kind of person to have regrets, and Yeah, I don't need the money right now. Like I don't need it. I'd like it, but I don't need it. And I don't. I just don't understand. Like I'm 47 this year, and I just like I'm still that kid that has like I'm struggling to like have 5K in my bank account. Um, I did get to double digits a few different times in my life, but like, man, it'd be nice to have double digits in the bank account, like 10K, 20K. Like, fuck, I should be growing the fuck up, and I should have like that kind of buffer, just to have, not to save it for something, not to spend it, just to have this buffer. Um, having a 5K buffer at 46 years of age, I just feel like it's fucking pathetic. So I just really need to grow the fuck up. And like, selling the GTR and having like 80K or 100K sitting there in the bank account. Oh my God. Oh my God, that just sounds like so much money. So much money. And it's so tempting, to just grow the fuck up and have some money in my bank account and like maybe even enjoy some of it too, what am I saving the money for? Like how much older do I want to be before I cash in and start enjoying some of the money? It's not like I've got kids to pass it on to. um yeah, so these are just the kind of raw thoughts that are going through my head, guys. Like, I understand if you're a car guy, how much that car would mean to you. But don't get me wrong, it's meant a lot to me in the past, but it sure as hell doesn't mean that much to me now. I used to always feel like they were my superpowers. If I ever sold the car, I'd lose my superpowers. I don't think like that about the car at all whatsoever now. Like, I'm not crazy into cars. I actually really like the Honda Jazz, and I just love it being in the left lane and never overtaking anyone and just getting to my destination without much stress, um, without the worry of cops fucking looking at the car and thinking that I'm going to get pulled over or get sent to the defect station. I have no attention. I'm completely fucking invisible when I drive the Honda Jazz. Um, with the GTR, like I'd even have to worry about getting the car fucking stolen. Like if it gets stolen, then I don't even get my 100K. It's fucking gone. So yeah, these are just the kind of raw thoughts that are going through my head about the car. But one thing that's for sure is I have dedicated myself to getting the car going again. So I called Indy as soon as I got over the rust and the Facebook post and all the feedback. I gave Indy a call, um, and he is actually moving things around in the workshop, moving the dyno. So he's busy with that. But as soon as he's settled with all of that, he's going to make some room for the car. And baby steps. First steps first is to get it going again. So that's that. Then I'll hopefully get Yun to check out the body and give me a quote on what it costs to fix it. I don't think fixing it myself is an option. And whether I fix it in bits or fix the whole thing, it just really depends on how much it's going to cost, right? Um, if it costs tens of thousands, I just don't have that money. So um, there are multiple things I can do. I can get a job. I can start doing freelance. I can get Zen going again, get some products. There were a few awesome suggestions. Nick suggested it to me during the cruise last week, actually, that I could even try to raise money for it by creating a GTR hoodie or something like that, and see if I can get the community to back me and get the car going again. But look, lots of options. Um, but yeah, before I get too far, baby steps first. I'll get the car going again first. Um, so that's the current state with the GTR. Apart from that, I have just been playing the guitar like an absolute motherfucker. I have been destroying my fingers. My fingers are so sore that even when I touch them, they're sore. But the calluses will come. I just need to keep at it. Um, and that I am. I am putting in a fair few hours a day playing, and you know, I keep researching all this shit. The amount of times I've been hovering over the buy now button over certain guitars. There's an Ibanez Gem Junior on eBay that's about $900. It's a fantastic, cheaper guitar, even though $900 is far from cheap in my opinion right now for me, especially. But it would be a guitar that I would hold on to for many years. And it's a metal shredder, and you got to have a metal shredder in your collection, right? So I've been hovering over that buy now button, and I've been looking at bigger amps as well, because I I started out on a valve amp, like I just had so many valves in it. It was like had 15 valves in it. It wasn't a valve state, it was a valve amp, and it used to take ages to warm up, and it was loud enough to keep up with my drummer Shannon Taylor from high school, who was like a double bass drummer and the loudest drummer ever. And we were playing in such tight spaces every week. We would rehearse underneath the house, so sound was bouncing around fucking everywhere. So I had to have a loud amp, and it's something about the tone that you get out of a valve amp. And as much as I love this new little orange amp that I bought a couple of weeks ago, um, I'm just not happy with the tones. But hey, they also say that the tone is in the fingers, and I just need to learn how to play better. So if I learn how to play better, the guitar is going to sound better without the expensive amp, the expensive guitar, without the pedals and all that shit. But hey, I found myself buying a few pedals. Um, and I've found myself doing that same stupid fucking thing of jumping the gun a little bit too quick, buying a delay pedal, then realizing there's an even better one that I'd like to try. So I'm buying both, and I stupidly bought another guitar. And I said that I should stop buying these $500 guitars because, man, they all add up. If I sold all my $500 guitars, I would have my dream guitar by now. And I fucking bought another guitar, and this time I bought a $200 guitar. It's like I've just been watching so much YouTube stuff, content on guitars, and it's amazing how cheap some of these guitars are these days. Like when I started playing guitar in the early 90s, it's like there were some really, really bad guitars. But these new guitars, some of them are like $200, and the reviews on them are so good, and the demos of them are so good. And I don't know if all of that's bullshit or not. I just couldn't help myself though. Pulled the trigger on one. Um, it's an Australian company called Artist. Super naff company name. It's got an Artist logo on the headstock, and I'm probably gonna scrape that down with sandpaper as soon as I get it because it's just so naff. And it's a Telecaster copy, and $200, man. Like it's made in China, and I just don't know if I should be supporting slave labor, man. Like, how the fuck can you make a guitar for $200? It's just I just hope these people have enough money to eat, because it's like, holy fuck, that's if you discount that, like, it's free shipping and the profits that the company must have to make on this thing. And like, ah, I just don't understand how they can do it. Like, people spend uh people get a lot less for $200 than a whole fucking electric guitar. That's for sure, right? So it's $200. Um, it should get here by Wednesday this week, and I'll be sure to give it a good run and like leave my honest opinion about whether a $200 guitar is as good as say a $500 guitar or $1,000 guitar. I'm very curious, so I've got that to look forward to. Also, I had a few shoots last week. I had 3 shoots, which was awesome. It really broke up and got me off the GTR train for a bit there as well. I shot with Viv, which photos I've yet to edit. I shot with Abby. Abby's always fucking awesome. She's amazing, and our photos turned out redonkulous as usual. We shot mostly nude, so all of that stuff will be up on my Patreon and her OnlyFans, probably this week, actually, this week or next week. And I also spent a night in Chinatown shooting a cosplayer. Her name's Anne, and with Jasminia, who invited me out. And Jazz is really cool at shooting at night, and we sort of aimed to try to get that real cyberpunk kind of time zone vibe, neon lights. And I've seen a lot of that kind of photography out there, and I always appreciate it. I always love it. It's not my style. Um, Shooting in the dark is not something that I've ever been comfortable with, and it's partly why I bought my camera, which is an A7S, because you can bump up the ISO to 1 billion, and that's what I found myself doing, just bumping up the ISO. Um, it's nice to have natural grain rather than adding grain, which is what I do to my photos. I add a little bit of grain, like 10, 15% grain. But yeah, I had no fucking idea what I was doing. I really struggled with trying to get a sense of depth. Um, I always love having something in the foreground, something in the middle ground, and something in the background. And I just found a lot of my photos from that night quite flat. Um, and then there's just the technical inability to blow things out on purpose, because with night photography I found that you're better off shooting a bit darker and bumping things up in post rather than blowing things out, which would probably end up in like super grainy shots. So yeah, got one shot that I liked where I did work my ass off to try to get a piece of glass between me and the model and some neon lights. But apart from that, yeah, it's not my thing. But it was awesome to hang out with these girls, and awesome to be out and about in the city. And yeah, it's good to be out of your comfort zone, right? Like, I definitely learned a thing or two, and I can only get better at it. So whether I shoot outdoors some more at night or not, I don't think I'm hungry for it, but I'm definitely, the more I do it, I think the less nervous I'll be, right? So if Jazz wants to go out and do that again, will have me along. I'll even play an assistant if she needs an assistant, because she had this huge bag and she was carrying shit around. So I would not mind being her assistant at all, and just to learn a little bit more about shooting at night off her. Guys, I'm going to leave it at that. I've been ranting for a fair bit. Yeah, my head's a bit of a mess. I am still not smoking. I have gotten drunk a couple of times. One night I got drunk and had an argument with a mate who is now no longer a mate. Um, it's been coming for a long time with that guy. I don't want to mention his name. I don't want to even talk about it. Hey, some things just don't need to be talked about. But like, we all know that like it's not easy to say goodbye to friends, but sometimes you have to. Um, I've done it a couple of times in my life, and yeah, it's never an easy thing. But man, like, we all have baggage, and sometimes you just gotta let it go. And with this guy, it was high time, and I just don't have the energy for it anymore. Like I've said a few times now in these podcasts lately, I just feel like I'm straighter than ever, and I'm sharper than ever, and I'm probably less tolerant than I've ever been. And I I'm just cutting the fat. So yeah, it's a tough one. I'm sure we've all been there. I know a lot of people that are still good friends or hang out with people that aren't good for them. And yeah, I've never been a person to sort of just say, well, just snip it, because I understand the situation. I understand how hard it is. Um, I've lost some really good friends, and yeah, I don't even want to talk about it, guys. So anyway, I hope everyone has an awesome week. It's going to be another big, long, productive week, I think, for me. I've got photos to edit. I've got guitar to learn. I really want to get better at it, and I might get a call from Indy sometime this week, hopefully, if not next, to get the GTR going again. It feels like there's lots to do. So yeah, have a good week, guys, and I shall catch you guys in the next one. See yous.